One day I was shopping at secondhand shops, antique shops. One of my hobbies. I love to look at antiques and old things. And I came across this interesting little ring holder. And I thought, it's a shoe. My daughter likes shoes, but she doesn't like the color pink. So I thought, I bet I could transform this into something that she will love. Now these things are just a piece of foam, so those are easy enough to pull out. They're just hot glued in. I bet I could transform the color of this shoe. And look at this. Oh my goodness, how easily that just comes right off. So I can just tear all this off. Well, that was too easy. Oh my goodness, that was too easy. So now I'm down to the bare bones. Looks like they glued the fabric on. But first thing I want to do is I'm going to paint this black, and I want to paint this black. And then I'll use these pieces for the pattern to cut out. Just get all of this. My goodness, it was just glued on, and it's, I don't know how old it is, but it's just coming apart like nothing. But I will be able to use this to cut out the pattern. I got me some black velvet, and I bought some nice trim that I thought would look really good against the black velvet. Tried to get the skinniest little trim, and I thought silver and black looks good. And then I thought I would put a little embellishment on the front of the shoe right here when it's finished. And I could just take the pink off of these. Let's see if that comes off as easy. It's not going to be as easy. Let's see. Will it slide out? I might even use these from when I take out my oils. Let me show you where they came from. Right here, there's the foam things that came out of these holes. There's the big ones, and then there's the skinny ones. So I saved them because you never know when those things could be used for a craft project. These will be too big. I mean, they could work, you just wouldn't have as much space. They're the right width, so they could work. If I wanted to use those, you just don't have as many, won't put as many rings. But how many rings does a person have? So I could use these, but they kind of stick up a little too much. And not too bad. This project's going to be a whole lot easier than I expected it would be. The first thing I did in transforming this shoe was to paint the sole and the inside of the shoe with black acrylic paint. It took, I think, about 3 layers. I blow dried the paint in between layers just so I could work a little faster. And I decided to let the paint sit overnight before I did any more work on it, so that I would give time for the paint to be thoroughly sealed and dried before adding the fabric. decided to use this glue. It's a non-toxic, water-based superglue. It adheres to metals, plastics, ceramics, vinyls, glass, painted and varnished surfaces, wood, fabrics, leather, paper, and more. It's called Crafter's Pick by Apis. Working from the front of the shoe, doing a portion of fabric at a time, I apply a generous amount of glue. I used a paintbrush to smooth out the glue, making an even layer of glue, making sure to cover the entire surface. I smooth the fabric on with my fingers. I did have to trim the fabric in a few places. I meant to start with the heel piece first, but I forgot my plan and I jumped right in on the front portion of the shoe first. So before I applied the whole piece of felt I started with, I then switched to get the heel on before I completed the other piece. Then I went back to work the other part that I initially started with. When applying the fabric, I start in the very center first. Like I started in the center front on the toe portion. On the heel portion, I make sure I affix the very center and then I smooth the fabric out to each side. Keeping my brush in the water in between, and I dry it on a rag so I don't have too much water in my glue. That smear because it will dry clear. My hands are getting a little messed up. I feel like I need to go wash them before I finish. This glue is great. It washes off with soap and water. A super glue that's water soluble. That's great. Okay, now we do the last piece. I was very pleased with this glue on the application of the fabric, so I decided to apply the finishing trim with it rather than using hot glue. I found the hot glue sometimes pulls off after a while. This glue seemed to have a strong bond, although it took me a lot longer to apply the trim because I could only do a small section at a time and I had to hold the trim in place while the glue set. So far I've been impressed with this super glue. I'm going to attempt to use it to put the trim on. Don't know if it'll work. If it doesn't work, I will go to the glue gun. But let's see how that will work. I'm going to let that sit till it sets real good. Because if I don't have to use the hot glue, I will be very happy. Because sometimes the hot glue, it just doesn't hold over time and things fall apart. And I really want this to hold together. You saw how easy it came apart before. So I want this to hold together well. So I'm using this soft, flexible super glue. And I'll just let this part harden before I do any more. So we'll just give it a rest and come back to it. Well, the glue is holding pretty good. I just have to do a little at a time and let it set. And when it dries, it's clear, so that's good. But in the end, I was pleased with my choice to continue using the same glue. I feel that this project will hold up over time. I have to hold it for a little while to let it set. It's almost there. So far so good. Easily I was able to pull everything off from the beginning. I don't want that to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen with this glue. I made a special card in keeping with the shoe theme, knowing that I had this project to work on as a gift from my daughter. This gift package card and shoe ring holder is unique and specialized for my unique daughter. I'm sure she will love it now that I have transformed it into a much classier style that will suit her tastes. I love to restore old items, giving them a new purpose or a second chance. I'm always on the look for old things that I can do something creative with. My daughter's birthday is in the month of July. I made sure that I did not post this video before her birthday so I don't spoil her surprise.